boys, Mantlet, and welcome to another Is It Worth the Gold video. Today we are looking at the M46 Patton KR. The premium version of the Pershing pretty much is exactly what this is, and the name Patton is probably just thrown in there to fuck with your silly little brain. That being said, let's look at the armor like we always do. So you have around 101 upper plate, which isn't actually too bad. The problem is that it's only angled at 40, so it is not as good as it could have been. Still, every once in a while you can bounce like 150 pen with this if you're angled enough, so some light things might struggle to pen even your hull. You do have a lower plate, and this is also a weak spot, so you shouldn't really rely on that ever. Turret-wise, not much better here. It's kind of well angled, but at the same time, like, you have a really weak armor in general. Like 76mm, you can angle in whatever way you desire, and it still won't really do much. When we come to the gun mantlet, it's not much better picture here. It's not Russian once again, so you don't get like 300mm armor while you saw throughout the gun mantlet. You get like 120 in this lighter zone pretty much all the way around. So even the gun mantlet isn't great. There's zones with 600 and shit armor as well, but the majority of the gun mantlet is pretty damn shitty. Side armor 76 at the front and 50 at the back. It's actually not too bad. Side stripping can be done, but I mean, with a front of the hull like this, like all these parts are always going to be exposed, but when you don't have a choice, it can be your last resort. That is, I guess, what I'm trying to say here. That being said, I guess that's all there is to really say about the armor. So let's look at the gun depression real quick and move on to the replay after that. So front 10 degrees, front sides 10 degrees, back 6 degrees. So yeah, pretty damn solid here. And that being said, let's go to the replay. And here is the game itself. Fisherman's Bait up there, pretty decent matchmaking for me. But as always, before the game starts, let's look into the general stats. So 8.7k gold cost, which is quite expensive. Comparing it to other premiums without preferential like the CDC and stuff like that, it is more than 1,000 gold more expensive than the CDC. The good news about this is that it is available at least for now in EU store with some shitty bundles. But the problem with that is that all the other premiums are on sale now, so price of 32 euros at the moment for the M46, and as far as we are aware, this tank is actually going away after New Year, so paying 32 euros for 46 or paying 37 euros for a FCM 50T is a pretty hard sell if that's your only tier 8 premium, but whatever, enough talking about the price. Let's move into some actual stats now. So I'm going to be comparing this to the regular Pershing, even though there's not much point in this as this is a premium and they shouldn't really compete on paper, but whatever, they're extremely similar, so it makes sense, I guess. So you have 1450 health, top speed force 48, backwards 20, power to weight 18.52. Terrain resistance, however, is pretty bad compared to other tier 8 mediums, so that definitely lets the tank's mobility down, and it doesn't feel as nimble as it should with that power to weight. Track traverse 38, turret traverse 38. Pretty, well, it's exactly the same as on the Pershing. Now let's talk about the gun. The gun definitely is the weakest link of this tank. You have 192 penetration, 240 alpha damage. The rate of fire on this gun is pretty bad for a premium. 777 base DPM, which looks pretty pathetic in comparison to something like an AMX CDC that has almost 2k base, and even the M4 Rev has 1800 something, so pretty bad DPM here. Aim time 2.5, accuracy 0.38, but the soft stats on the moving tank traverse, turret traverse are extremely good, so the aiming time actually does not feel as bad. Plus the tank isn't very fast, so you can definitely notice that this doesn't really feel like 2.5 second aiming time here for sure. Aiming wise, I would actually say that this tank is better than the CDC and the FCM and the M4 obviously, so it's a pretty quick tank to pull off your shots, so you should work on that as much as you can. Another bad thing about this tank is that you have shell velocity of 853, which is pretty pathetic compared to the CDC's 1000. Like every other 88, 90 mil gun has around 1000 shell velocity, this is 850. It can be noticeable at longer ranges. Let's put it this way. In close range, it doesn't really matter, but at longer ranges, it can fuck you up for sure. Also, not so great 390 view range. Still, with a pretty decent crew, you'll be able to rock optics on this. That segues us into the equipment choices. So obviously, optics, rammer, and vert stab. Nothing really to say here. Standard medium tank equipment. For the crew here, there's some bad news again. The crew is a different layout than in the Patton. First of all, you get more crew members, and the Patton's loader is also the radio guy. In this tank, you get 2 separate ones as far as I'm aware, which means that the Patton's loader will not give you the situational awareness perk, which you probably have on that or should have. So you kind of need to get another radio guy from some asshole and actually have him rock situational awareness. So enough for the stats, what has happened in this game. So we have taken over the city, haven't done that much. I mean, QK isn't bad, but like, it's not because of me we won the city. Now, there's a couple of plays here. One would be to push on and try to get to 416 from here, but that's a pretty bad play with an ISU supporting, with some other crap supporting. That's a pretty stupid thing to do, so we are instead going to go around and play it safe. All I need my team to do is not to die in like next 3 or 4 minutes, so I can work with a better positioning and just outplay the enemies that clearly have nowhere to really run away to. So we really just need our team to just hang in there and do nothing for a couple of minutes. So if you do decide to buy this tank, the most important things you should try to do with this is to always go hull down, always try to use your gun depression and just pull your shots quickly and get out. Your aiming time is not actually that bad, and the worst thing about this tank obviously is the accuracy, so try to not worry about too much about aiming your shots fully, because your accuracy is bad anyways. Try to take your shots as quickly as you can if you're in danger, and don't hang around there to get shot back. And now we get nice flanking shots on these people. The shots on the 416 are pretty bad, but the D32 at least were a good shot for me a while back. I do pick up the LTTB, which isn't like the most important thing to kill there, but we pick him up anyways, because why the fuck not, right? Moving on with our lives, you can really notice how bad the accuracy and shell loss is when you start taking shots like this. I mean, like, it's not a good shot for even the most accurate tier 8 guns with AP, like, it's just the range is too much and the target is too small, but this gun really struggles to land these kind of shots, and in most cases you should try to avoid these kind of positions where you have to shoot at long ranges, but in this game it's definitely the right play and we have already made it worth it. Our team is doing exactly what I said they shouldn't do. They're throwing this game away in pretty big way now. I did track the 416, so maybe we can land this shot, but his friend drives right into the way, so we don't get to pick that one up. Meanwhile, our team is lining up in front of that 416 like absolute idiots, one after the other, and finally that one hit point guy dies. He picked up like, what, 4 or 5 kills while he was on 1 hit point? I think it was 3 or 4, whatever. It's ridiculous. Our team is silly. They should never have thrown so many tanks at them and all died. And now, this position is extremely strong. You can't really counter this while camping base, and they are camping base, so we should be fine to win this one. As long as I don't get spotted crossing this, and like this game's... Well, this game is, to be honest, already over anyways. The ISU would have to pull out some miracle plays here to even stand a chance. We do get the first shot into the D25 Skoda, but like, that tank isn't very that dangerous to me. As I said, if you are getting shot by something like 150 pen, your armor can actually work here, and that shit has only 130, so we should be more than fine here. A low roll to not get the kill here, but we should be able to reload and take the shot here anyways, and take 1 in return, which puts me into that risks danger zone for the ISU to one-shot me if he's rocking the big gun. But at this point, we would really have to fuck up to lose this game, so I'm just gonna go in and see if I can spot him. There's no... Like, even if I die now, we still have a full health D29 and a Tiger 2. They could still throw it away, don't get me wrong. They always can, but it's a bit unlikely, and we're just gonna see what we can do. And there he is. Pretty lucky shot, this one, and it should be really easy to work the bridge now and just kill him with the 10 degrees of gun depression that we have here. Overall, the tier 8 Patton Pershing, whatever the fuck you call this, is a pretty well-rounded tank like most American mediums are. The weakness of this is the gun. for sure. The lack of pen, the bad DPM, the bad shell velocity, bad accuracy are all things that you don't really want on your medium tanks, but at the same time, the good gun depression, the reasonable mobility, the reasonable aiming time makes this a pretty good medium to close range, medium brawler. And sadly, we don't get to pick up the top gun, so I cried myself to sleep that day. 4.3k damage done, ace tanker, 2,167 experience earned. 108k profit with premium count, high caliber, and Confederate. 1,313 base experience. A pretty decent game showcasing the strengths and the weaknesses of the M46 KR. Definitely gets much worse when you get into tier 9 and 10 games, but tell me a tier 8 premium that doesn't get much worse than tier 9 and 10 games. And now to the question, is this thing worth the gold? Well, as far as it goes for this New Year's deal, definitely not. There's no way you would buy this for 32 euros and not buy a FCM 50T for 37 euros. Or if you're on a budget, then a CDC or Panther 88 for like 24 euros. So definitely not on this New Year's deal. But if this tank makes its way to the regular premium store, which is a bit unlikely for a special tank like this, it is not bad. I actually kind of enjoy playing it. It does have some bad characteristics, but you can make it up by just putting it in the right places at the right times and making sure that you shoot soft targets at medium range and use and abuse your gun depression. But it is really hard to recommend this tank over CDC, Panther 88, FCM, IS-6, IS-3A. There's a lot of other tanks I would buy before this one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you on the next one.